The Cabela's 3/4 horsepower number 12 grinder.
Oh, yeah.
She's a beast. First thing I'm gonna do is just grab my slabs of meat. Pork butts. Chop it up into strips that I can run through the grinder. And chuck roast. It is higher in fat content, but fat is flavor. Assembly of the grinder is pretty straightforward. One thing that I don't mention, or that I forgot to do here this time, is all these metal pieces. Pro tip here, chuck these things all in the freezer for at least an hour before you assemble this thing, and keep it as cold as possible. You'll see that I've got the larger plate in there, and it does come with the large plate and a small plate. The large plate, it's super quick. 3 or 4 minutes to grind down 10 pounds of meat. I start grinding here, and I actually forgot to put the collar on. This thing is just massive, by the way. It's got a huge tray on the top, everything you need. Ample power. It has no trouble chewing through meat, as you can see here. Monster. I definitely noticed a difference from the first time that I ground meat with this thing to now. The first time I did remember to put all the metal pieces in the freezer for, I think I had them in there for 2 hours before I ground, and there was definitely a noticeable difference in how easily the machine chews through. Gonna make a couple of different batches here. One is half the pork, one is half the beef, putting the two side by side, and what I'll do on the final grind here, now with the narrow plate in the front, or the small holes in the front, just take half of each and let the grinder mix it up. Just adds a different flavor to the meat. If you do notice at any point in time that it kind of feels like your grinder stops to do an effective job grinding the meat, it doesn't hurt to just pluck this the end out and kind of take a look inside. In the case of here, I had some fat or some sinew, maybe it was tendon, I'm not sure what it was, but it's wrapped around the cutter blade. So I'll just take that off, discard it, and seal her back up and continue. For the 20 pounds of meat that I ground up here, 10 was pork, 10 was beef. I only had to do that one time, in case you're wondering how often that occurs. The fine grind is much slower, but again, the motor has no trouble at all chewing through this stuff. It does get warmer, so there's something to keep in mind as well. Cleanup is a piece of cake. Comes out with the nice attachment there to pull it apart. Pop the pieces all off. Undo the screw, and you can yank the head off. All the parts wash up really easily in warm soapy water. And what we always like to do with this is we grind a bunch of meat ahead of time, and we'll use a Food Saver vacuum pack and just put everything through there. Seal up individual packages, 1.5, 2 pounds, whatever you think your serving size is going to be, and then throw them in the freezer. Now, why grind your own meat? The stuff that you get in the store, I feel, has actually no. If you eat the two side by side, there's no comparison. It's got way more Heinz 57 meat. Just whatever they have laying around, chuck it through the grinder, and that's what you're getting. Here you actually know what the quality of the meat is, you know which cuts you're using, and the overall flavor of anything you make with it is much nicer. Would I buy this thing again? Absolutely, 100%. This is it's a phenomenal grinder. I can tell I'm going to be grinding meat with this thing for a long time to come. For whoever put this meat grinder together, if they happen to ever watch this video, what can they do better? What can they change? Honestly, that's annoying when you're recording. The only small tidbit I would say is if the drawer or the, yeah, I guess it's the drawer underneath, make some more room so that all this junk could go in the bottom, that'd be fantastic. But even that, I really don't care that much. It's an awesome grinder. I have no qualms, got no beefs about this thing. It grinds meat, does it great, works every time. I love it. I'll keep using it. If you like what's seen here, thumbs it up. If not, thumbs it down. Give me a comment. Tell me why I'm an idiot. My wife tells me every day, but I'm sure she could use some ammo.